The Isimangaliso Wetland Park, formerly the Shlushlui Impilosi Conservancy in South Africa, was once home to a powerful pride of lions, but poaching and disease have severely depleted the population in recent years. Now only one young female, Nala, lives alone. Rangers hope Nala will be the start of a new era for the pride. Nala is closely monitored by a GPS collar and surveillance cameras dotted around the area. Despite her young age, Nala is intelligent, resilient, and likes to hunt alone. At dusk, one morning, the rangers discovered a clear sign. Nala is pregnant with her first cub. The team is both excited and worried because she has no support from the pride. Joseph, a senior ranger, is tasked with monitoring Nala's pregnancy. He and the conservation team began a long-term remote monitoring plan. After the first 4 months, Nala became sluggish and often lay still in the thick grass. Surveillance cameras showed that her belly was unusually large compared to previous pregnancies. Joseph had a hunch that something was wrong. It was most likely a case of multiple pregnancies. She frequently dug holes, changing her sleeping position as if looking for a suitable place to give birth. One day, the GPS signaled that Nala had been lying motionless for more than 18 hours straight. The rangers immediately used a low-flying drone and discovered Nala gasping for breath in the dark. She kept scratching the ground, growling softly, and curled up as if struggling with severe pain. Joseph and veterinarian Zandi quickly set off for the scene, carrying emergency equipment. A light rain began to fall, and thunder and lightning echoed in the African jungle in the distance. When they arrived, they found Nala lying on her side, her belly covered in blood, her whole body shaking. The headlights of the car shone on her, and Joseph stopped. 3 tiny lion cubs had been born, but Nala was too weak, and blood continued to flow from her belly. The birth was not over. Zandi did a quick check and confirmed the fetus had not yet come out, but Nala was completely exhausted. She withdrew the uterine stimulant and requested emergency intervention. Joseph reported to the center, receiving approval within 3 tense minutes. Zandi moved closer, gently injecting the drug into her buttocks, reassuring her while preparing the equipment. Nala growled softly but did not attack. She knew they were trying to help her survive. About 20 minutes later, the 4th lion cub was born amid her mother's full-body convulsions. Soon after came the 5th, much smaller and weaker than the first 3. Zandi gasped, her eyes filled with tears. There had never been a birth of 6 cubs in this reserve. When the 6th one was born, the group could not believe their eyes. Nala had lost a lot of blood. Her head was down. She had no strength to roar anymore. One of the 6 lion cubs lay motionless, not breathing. Her belly was flat. Joseph bent down, hugged the tiny cub, his eyes shining with determination. The battle to save the life of both mother and cub began from that moment. Zandi immediately began to resuscitate the cub that had stopped breathing by using continuous massage techniques. Joseph used a clean towel to wipe Nala's body and at the same time gave her a large bag of fluids. A minute passed like a century. Then the little lion stirred slightly and exhaled. The group breathed a collective sigh of relief, but could not stop. Nala was still unconscious. Zandi injected a resuscitation dose, checked her heart rate, and placed a warm towel around her belly. 2 of the 6 lion cubs showed obvious signs of weakness, unable to crawl to their mother's breast. Zandi decided to take the 2 weakest cubs to the emergency intensive care center. Joseph wrapped them in coats and placed them in a special cage with a thermal pad. The remaining 4 were placed near their mother's body, which was gradually warming up. The sky was getting brighter, the rain had stopped, and the first rays of sunlight shone on the grass where Nala lay. Nala moaned softly, then opened her eyes, looking around as if searching for her cubs that had not returned. She gently licked one lying next to her, making a deep, gentle roar. The whole team quietly retreated, making no noise so that Nala could rest. An emergency helicopter took the 2 cubs to a rescue station 30 kilometers away. The first birth of 6 cubs in the history of the reserve had overcome the crisis. On the 3rd day, the camera showed that Nala had stood up on her own and was walking slowly around the area. She kept calling softly, as if calling for her missing cubs that had not returned. Joseph reviewed the data and knew Nala remembered and counted 6. At the rescue center, the 2 cubs were named Lumo and Sana. They were still weak, needed replacement milk, and needed hourly care. Zandy said that if they didn't get sick after 7 days, their chances of survival were high. By the 6th day, both began to open their eyes and stretch at sounds. Joseph began to consider it was time to return them to their mother. The team wrapped them in Nala's old towels to preserve their familiar scent. That evening, they drove Lumo and Sana back to the grassy area where Nala was staying. When they saw the 2 cubs, Nala went over to sniff them carefully, then gently licked each one's forehead. She didn't growl, didn't tense up, a wonderful sign that she had gotten her cubs back. The group was silent, tears streaming down their faces at this magical moment in the wild. The story of Nala giving birth to 6 cubs was shared on social media and by international conservation organizations. Many support funds offered to protect the pride of lion cubs in the wild. Scientists confirmed that this was one of the rarest cases of sextuplets ever recorded. Nala became a new symbol of hope and strong life in the wild. A German documentary team came to film and interview Joseph, Zandy, and the group. The rangers expanded the protection area around the living area of Nala and her cubs. The lions grew up healthy, gradually separating from the pride to hunt instinctively. Lumo and Sana, once the weakest, are now fully developed and the strongest. The whole pride is equipped with biolocating devices to monitor their health and natural behavior. Joseph knows, from a single mother, a new future has been created with faith and perseverance. Late that evening, Joseph stood on the hill and looked down, seeing Nala lying among her 6 cubs. The gentle wind blew through the grasslands, carrying a young roar that echoed under the brilliant sunset. Zandy came over and whispered, "We saved a generation." Joseph smiled, his eyes shining with faith and a symbol of resurrection. It was a miracle in the heart of Africa, starting with a single lioness. Dear friend, thank you for taking the time to watch our story. If you find it interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episodes.